All right. Well, hey, good morning. I'm Kelly Klein with One Trust Home Loans and a proud member of North Coast Networking Group. And today we're kicking off our first episode of our Power Pod Group podcast. And I've got a couple of my power partners here with me today. Christian Vickery.
Good morning.
With one top-tier property management. Yeah, I'm with One Trust Home Loans, not you.
Yes.
And then Dennis Smith with Remax Connections.
Yep.
Dennis, good morning.
Good morning.
So the idea of this podcast is to introduce some of our members to the public and what we do and how we can service you, and then to share with the community what NCNG is all about, North Coast Networking Group, and understand what we're all doing here. And of course, we're in this great studio today with another member of ours, Rob Esposito from Max Lux Media. He is hosting this podcast for us in his awesome studio. So let's go ahead and kick it off. And first question I'm going to ask you guys is, what got you into Business Networking Group?
What got me into business networking was my family. We moved down here from the Bay Area about 6 years ago, a little bit less than that. And, I knew I had to get out there and meet people and kind of get my name out there. And, so I joined the Carlsbad Chamber of Commerce. And there I met an insurance agent who referred me to North Coast Networking Group. And, I think the real incentive was to get business for myself, but also to meet like-minded individuals, to kind of go over war stories and have people to lean on who are probably going through similar, trials and tribulations that I'm going through in my business. So I just thought it was a great opportunity to just meet new people, being in a new area. So that was the impetus for me.
Got it. Dennis, how about yourself?
Well, I was in a business networking group in another business many, many years ago, and I saw the value of it then. The connections that we can make, the personal connections, and obviously the business connections. As a real estate agent, residential real estate agent, it's really critical for me to have good people around me. Obviously, a lender. I mean, what's a real estate agent without a lender? Sure, there's cash offers out there, but a lender's such a great power partner for me. And of course, being in real estate, property management, somebody buys an investment property through me. Obviously, I need a quality property manager, somebody I can rely on. And so by being in the NCNG, I've been able to build a really strong network of people I know, I like, and most importantly, I trust.
Yeah. That's probably a really great point there, Dennis, is the trust factor. As we in our professions, me in mortgage, you in property management, you in real estate, we're servicing clients and we're such advisors to them, right? We bring so many different verticals of assistance to them. And knowing people to help fulfill all of their needs becomes such a high priority of ours. Like for you, Dennis, having a great home inspector, right?
Right.
Christian, for us at Top Tier, having great handymen and great plumbers, great electricians, right? Great vendors that we can rely on, that we know go get the job done. And I think, that's what got me into Business Networking Group when I got started prior to NCNG, I was in a group called TIP, and I joined the group and there was 10 people in it. And, I was like, okay, well, this is kind of small, like it's going to be hard to really get a lot of leads here. So what am I doing here? And it became kind of like a goal in a contest to find the people you want to surround yourself with. And as we built NCNG now for almost 10 years, going on our 10th year, we're now 30 members deep. And so now when you show up every Thursday and you look around the room, you're like, wow, there's 30 people in here that I can rely on and that I'm building these long-lasting relationships of trust with. And there's so many serviceable folks in our group. So
yeah, I mean, I really feel strongly that our group, like you said, 30 members, it's really, quality is so much more important than quantity.
For sure.
I feel like we've got 30 members that I can confidently refer clients to. And I mean, they're an extension of you. Whoever you refer to is an extension of you. And if they don't give a good service, it kind of comes down on you a little bit, So to have that confidence to be able to refer all 30 members for their respective fields with confidence is fantastic.
It's so important. That confidence and that trust is everything. And I can go down the list of everybody in there. And when I have people relocating from out of the area, they need so many different services.
Yeah.
And so it's it's really critical to have that network.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah, I agree. Dennis, give me your resume. Tell me a little bit about your history as a real estate agent.
Well, I first got into real estate. I almost bought my first house in Madison, Wisconsin before I entered the military.
Okay.
And then Uncle Sam decided he wanted me out here in San Diego. That's a lot better than Wisconsin.
Yeah, I'd say so.
I looked around and I said, this is nice. I think I'm going to stay.
Yeah.
So I bought my first house when I was about a 23-year-old sailor.
Okay.
And since then, I've stepped up and stepped up and stepped up, just like everybody should do. You know, you're not going to be buying your last house on your first house. Very, very few people do.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And so then several other careers in between. Then I got back into real estate where it was really important to me. Now, that's been 32 years ago.
Okay.
So I've been around for a while, and it's all been in the North County area.
Got it.
I believe in education. Education is really, really critical. So I've gotten a lot of different designations, gone through a lot of training. I probably take 2 or 3 webinars or training courses per week. So I've developed some different specialties. SRES, which is a senior real estate specialist. Because, well, okay, I am one. What can I say?
You got your own crowd.
So I know the people that I'm working with. And to partner up with that, I also got a specialty as a probate and estate specialist, which is great because we have an excellent probate attorney, an estate attorney in our group.
Yep.
So we partner up quite a bit there. I've also worked with some creative financing things, and so I've gotten a certificate for an assumable mortgage. A lot of people don't know, but there are still assumable mortgages out there. Wouldn't you
Yeah.
like to take over a 3 or a 4% mortgage in today's rates?
No doubt about it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, creates a lot more affordability when you find that
Yeah.
gem of a deal right there.
I've got the ABR, accredited buyer representative. I've got a foreclosure certificate. Fortunately, we have very few foreclosures. They're only about 1.2% of the total inventory versus about 40% back in the Depression.
Yeah.
And so, you know, people are saying, oh my God, no, we've got a foreclosure crisis. It's gone up 5 times. Yeah, it went up from 5 to 25. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Which is a lot different than the 4,600
Right.
Yeah.
that we had in 2009. So everything's perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, I know real estate in the North County, and I can help people buy and sell all over the North County, well, all over San Diego County for that matter.
Sure.
Also, I've developed relationships with real estate agents all over the country. So if someone wants to buy almost anywhere in the country, with my association with RE/MAX and other networks that I belong to, I can find another real estate agent to help them buy or sell almost anywhere in the country, and of course with RE/MAX, almost anywhere in the world.
It's awesome.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it becomes pretty powerful when you have that web that can shoot so broadly, right? You don't just have to be, sniper rifle style where you're picking off just one little thing at a time. When you can cover so many bases and have such a broad knowledge base like you have with all those certificates and all the training and stuff that you do, you just never know what situation you're going to come across in our industry. And the more knowledge you have, the more powerful you are to be assistance to the clients who are needing your help, right?
My business is primarily referral based.
Yep.
And that's another reason why I went into a networking group, because referrals are really critical.
Yeah.
I have referrals going in and out all the time. And to have power partners like you guys, and then auxiliary partners, some of the other people that I don't refer very often because I'm not in that niche, but they're there when I need them.
Yep.
Yeah, you can do all the marketing of yourself that you'd like, but there's nothing like a third party saying you got to call Dennis. He's fantastic. He's the best.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Christian, how about yourself? Give us a little bit about your backdrop and resume.
Yeah, I've been in residential property management for about 16 and a half years now. I graduated college in '06 from St. Mary's up in the Bay Area, and I got into commercial real estate initially. My dad was a real estate agent, just like Dennis, focused on residential. So I grew up with real estate. So in my mind, that's kind of always just was kind of a natural gravitation for me to go towards. So I worked for a commercial real estate brokerage up in the Bay Area. I was like 23, 24 years old at the time. And I liked it, but I think I was just too immature for that kind of commitment. I kind of saw the writing on the wall that it was basically just, first one in the office, last one to leave, getting in on Saturday. So my friends were still in college. I couldn't go visit my buddies it was just one of those, like, I didn't have I just wasn't ready to kind of settle down and get into a career long term. So I did that for a little while and was working at a restaurant as a waiter to make ends meet because I wasn't getting paid very much in that position. It was like an entry level position. And then I went the route of wanting to become a firefighter. So I got my EMT certification, did that for a little bit, worked for an ambulance company in the Bay Area. Decided that wasn't enough for me either. It wasn't mentally stimulating enough. There was just a lot of downtime. I needed something to kind of keep me a little bit more active and mentally engaged. So, I quit that, and then it kind of fell in my lap through a friend of a friend. I got a job as a leasing agent for a property management company up in the Bay Area. And eventually I became a property manager, and I just decided I liked it a lot. It was, it's not a sexy profession to get into. It's a lot of problem solving, a lot of stress. But I just liked the challenge of it. I liked it every single week. I felt like I knew more than the week before.
Yeah.
And if you get a job where you're never looking at the clock, is it 5 o'clock yet? When do I get to go home? If anything, as long as I've been in the business, there's never enough time in the day, which I think is what you want, because then it just you're having more fun that way. You're not things don't become dull. There's always a new challenge. Even 16 and a half years in, I still have new situations that we constantly have to kind of bounce ideas and try to get feedback from each other on, hey, how do we handle this situation? So I worked for that property management company for about 7 years up in the Bay Area, and then I started my own company up there. Moved down here several years later. You and I met in a networking group, North Coast Networking, and decided to merge our companies together for property management to become top tier property management. And from there, we've been doing that for 3 years now, 3 years plus. And just really enjoy it. There's always new challenges. There's been new challenges since we merged. But that's kind of how I got from A to where I am now in the property management field.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
the
still
laws
enjoying it.
change, and that just throws a monkey wrench into the whole thing, and you've got to figure it out.
It absolutely does. We joke around, every new year, there's just a plethora of new laws coming out, a lot of state laws, a lot of federal laws. 9 out of every 10 laws are going to favor the tenant over the landlord in California.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it can be frustrating and tough and complicated as a property manager to kind of navigate all that. What are the implications and legal ramifications of this or that? But I think that also creates more demand for landlords who say, gee, I don't want to deal with all these laws and all these fair housing laws, and I don't, I'm just going to pay a property manager, someone who keeps up to speed with the ever-changing laws to handle this minefield that can be California rental property ownership.
Yeah, kind of like the conversation we had with that client a week or so ago, and they were like, how many times have you guys ended up in court? We're like, well, fortunately once.
Yeah.
Between our 29 combined years in property management, we've found ourselves in court one time.
Yeah.
And that's, a lot to do with the knowledge base that we have and the ways that we know how to navigate troubling situations.
Yeah.
And just kind of being level-headed about it, right? Because the first thing as a homeowner, if somebody does something to my house, I want to go right for the jugular, right? And just try to figure out how can I sue this person? How can I get my rightful reward back? And you know what? Sometimes you just have to take emotion out of it. And as a homeowner, it's hard to take the emotion out of it. As a property manager, we're not so invested in that home as we are invested in the process.
Right.
And so we can step back from the emotional component of it. Sometimes it's hard, but we can step back from the emotional component of it and really focus on the task at hand and how do we resolve this problem that the client or the tenant are faced with. And be level-headed about it.
Yeah, you often have to talk landlords off the ledge. A lot of times they take it personally if a tenant does this or that, and you can't look at it emotionally. At the end of the day, the job as the property manager is obviously do things the right way and frankly keep everyone out of the courtroom.
Yeah.
And just through our experience, I mean, there's been a lot of other occasions where we could have wound up in court if this particular situation wasn't handled appropriately. But
sure.
just through experience, you kind of learn how to talk to the tenant, how to talk to the owner, and reach an agreement that's really mutually beneficial and equitable for both parties.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah.
I own investment real estate myself, residential, like what you guys are managing.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of real estate agents also do property management. I'm not interested in that. It's a whole complete different job.
Yep.
And to stay on top of the laws that I mentioned it's a full-time job.
Yeah.
And I want to have somebody that works in it all the time, that does it, that knows it, and takes care of the problems, so I don't have to.
Yeah. We took over management of a property up in the Bay Area recently where the current lease terminates May 31st, and so we're in the process of putting a new lease together. The tenant's going to sign it and get it back to us this week, but I'm looking at the lease that was in place, and there's a rent cap and disclosure addendum where if a property is exempt from the rent cap and just cause law, you've got to check the box saying that you're exempt. Otherwise, you're not exempt from the law until you notify the tenant that you're exempt from that law. And that's a big error when the time comes when you want to increase the rent or ask the tenant to vacate because you didn't notify them that you're exempt from that law. And as I'm going through this lease, there's just things throughout. Certain addenda are missing that you got to have as part of the lease. So it was written up by a real estate agent that doesn't specialize in property management. So
You're not an attorney, but you know what to look for in leases.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes it tough when people try to be a jack of all trades and master at none.
Right.
You find yourself running into a lot more trouble that way, and so it's kind of like one of my sayings in life is do what you do best and hire the rest.
Absolutely.
Right. And if you focus on doing the things that you're really good at, and then just offload everything else that you're not great at, it might cost you a couple of dollars, but usually those couple of dollars are well spent because you're hiring a professional that can do the things that you just don't know how to do.
You get it back in
Absolutely.
multiples.
You get it back in spades,
Yes,
right? Yeah,
for sure. Definitely.
Yeah. So my journey was pretty easy and straightforward. One, I got out of college. Fraternity brother called me up and was like, "Hey, I need to hire 5 people in the mortgage business. You want a job?" And I was like, "Sounds good. I guess I'll take it." So I started in the mortgage business in January of 2000. Prior to the subprime meltdown, climbed the rankings in the business. Was a pretty good producer early on, found some good success in the business, and kind of got myself mentally locked in on the idea of helping people own homes, helping people leverage homes. Spent a lot of time, learning real estate, learning mortgage, learning financial advisory, learning the rules of 72, learning just how money can become more powerful, and seeing across the country some of the wealthiest people out there at the time, not necessarily today, but for a while, the wealthiest people in the United States were real estate owners. They were, land moguls. They owned commercial buildings. They owned hundreds and hundreds of properties. And so I was like, yeah, this is a great leverage tool. Being able to teach people how to use a mortgage to their advantage and buy more real estate or leverage real estate and take advantage of cheaper money when money was available, and then the power of leveraging someone else's money, right? OPM. Hey, if you can borrow someone else's money and leverage that to go buy an investment, and that investment grows by 100%, and you borrowed someone else's money and you put none out, I just kind of started to master that mindset. And 26 years into the mortgage business now, backtrack 10, 13 years ago, mortgage business is like this, right? It goes up, it goes down, and when it goes down fast. And when it got to a point that it had hit a really tough spot, now my second go around of a tough spot in my years, I decided to pick up a little side hustle, and that side hustle was property management. And so I took on a business for a few of my fraternity brothers that had a book of business that needed some help. They had just lost their property manager. They were both now managing their businesses from other states, and they needed some local support here in San Diego County. So I decided to get my real estate license. I jumped in, took over the property management space and had about 50 properties. And my wife and I kind of just started to tool around with that as like my side hustle and my wife's stay-at-home mom job as we started to have kids together. And we slowly grew that, got it up to give or take about 100 doors. And then that's when Christian and I met. And the opportunity presented itself for me to acquire that book of business from my brokerage. And so I did that, turned around, and Christian and I created our partnership and formed Top Tier Property Management 3.5 years ago. And so I'm still kind of running in both tracks, managing real estate with Christian at Top Tier and still helping people leverage mortgage and buy homes, refinance homes. And we're doing business in in all 49 states and 2 territories, all except for New York. So we can do loans for
Doing
anybody,
loan
anywhere.
business, not management business.
Doing loan business.
Yeah,
loan business. So it's been a great kind of diverse track, because as a real estate agent and property manager or mortgage guy, I'm always working with real estate agents. Real estate agents are my number one power partner, because they're always talking to a consumer and they're looking for that consumer to help them sell or buy a house. So the more real estate agents I can surround myself with, that I can build that level of trust and respect like I've done with Dennis, those are my referral partners. Well, as you mentioned, a lot of real estate agents and a lot of real estate brokerages don't do property management. So it's hard to find a real estate agent who, one, doesn't already have a lender, or two, doesn't do property management either. So it's like, oh, hey, well, can we work together on the mortgage side? No, I kind of have my mortgage guy. Okay, well, do you have anybody that you refer property management to? Oh, no, I don't have anybody there. So it kind of opened up 2 doors for me to go after my victims, right? I'm out there hunting. I'm out there hunting for these relationships and trying to hook them in and get them to work with me. And so running the 2 different tracks has been a pretty successful run so far for me. And don't know which one I love better, but because like Christian said, they're always a different battle. Right, you never go to work the same day, and you never look at your watch and go, man, is it 5 o'clock? Yeah, can I get out of here? No, you're just like, God, I need more hours today.
Yeah.
What, it's only 5 o'clock? I mean,
yeah.
it's 5 o'clock already?
Flies by every day.
Yeah.
Every day flies.
And that's kind of where it ends up. So we've got a lot of experience, right? And with all 3 of us in our professions, we're very trusted advisors, and with the power of trust and advisory to the clients that we service, surrounding ourselves with a lot more powerful people who are experienced and really good in their trades is really the moral to the story here, right? And that's what NC&G is. North Coast Networking Group has become that power partner organization for us, where we're surrounded by the 3 of us with 27 other people that we look to every day, every week, every month of the year to say, hey, who do you know that I can help? Who do you know that needs my service? Who do you know that needs to buy or sell a house, hire a property manager, get pre-approved, finance a home, refinance a home, any of those things, so we can look to these 27 other people within the group as basically non-paid employees. We got that many people out there, hey, I know a guy, hey, I know a guy, I know a guy too. And when they can spread that word and they can create those trusted referrals for us, it's free money for us, right?
Absolutely.
And I think that when you look around at what NC&G has created, I mean, I would say we're probably one of the more elite networking groups in North County from what we've created out of scratch, where we're not, a LaTip International, where we're not a BNI, where we don't have some entity that's, supporting and backing us and that we're all paying their salaries. We're basically a group run by the group.
Our costs are less, and the group is a great group. We've grown it, like you said, from 10 people to 30 people, 29 other unpaid referral sources. It's great. We still are looking for more people, though, aren't we?
Yeah, always.
Yeah, we have quite a few openings for other businesses that again associate with what we're doing.
Right. When you think about, not everybody in a networking group is going to be the strongest power partner. But when we step back from our own position and we look at the group as a general whole, we really have 7 different power pods, from health and wellness to real estate and finance to home improvement and renovation to marketing and media, right? With Rob, what he does with Richard and his management of websites and social media marketing, and
In the health field.
Joe Iredell.
yeah,
right?
Joe with what he does on AI marketing and stuff. So we've basically segmented out our group of 30 members, and we've been able to kind of hone it into essentially 6 to 7 separate power partner pods. And I think that's why this podcast exists, is to kind of really hone in on the power of those inclusive pods within the org. Because not all 30 people are going to be the best power partners to each other. But when you take that segment of 4 or 5 people and you really hone them in, and they know each other super well, and they're constantly building that trust and that rapport and that understanding of each other's business, they create more business for each other. We can create a lot of business for each other in this group. But when we look at, our dentist, is he a great referral partner to us? Probably not. But
But do we refer to him?
we can refer to him.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
And so I think when you look at the concept of joining a business networking group, for those of you who maybe aren't familiar with it or haven't ever been in one, that's really what we're trying to build at NCNG is these powerful groups within a powerful group. And so like Dennis mentioned, we're always looking for new members. We are an exclusive group, which does set us apart from some of the other business networking groups that you might attend or you might see out there. That's just a free-for-all, and they meet once a month, and it's a happy hour thing. And there could be 70 different real estate agents that show up at one day, and you're like, hey, what are we going to do? We're competing against each other.
Right.
That's not really a network. That's a competition room.
Free for all.
Right,
Yeah,
it's a competition room.
Yeah, and I think too that a lot of people are intimidated to join a networking group.
Yeah.
They're going to walk into a room, everyone's going to look up at them. I don't know anyone, they all know each other. But what I liked about NCNG is that it's a more relaxed, less rigid atmosphere than other networking groups I've been in. It's high energy, but it's just really positive people, high character people that are very welcoming. So I think anybody that comes to visit us typically has very good feedback for their experience. You get a free breakfast on top of it. We always welcome people to come check us out.
Yeah. So let's talk about the power of the referrals, right? And so within our group, our goal is to try to generate at least 2 referrals per month as a member, referring somebody else within the group. And so far in our history, which is running up on 10 years this November, we're over $8 million in money referred from members in NCNG to a member of NCNG who closed business and made revenue. It's a powerful number.
That's a huge number.
8 million. If we can get to our goal this year, we're going to be almost $10 million in income generated. And back in the LaTip day, one of the things that they used to preach, and they always said, you need to get your group to 35. 35 was their power number. They always said, get to 35, and when you get to 35, you'll be $1 million producing group. We got to over $1 million with just under 30 members. That's a power that we've generated in our group. And like you said, we're always looking for new members, and there's room for us within our partner group. The one thing we're missing is a real estate attorney.
Right.
We're also missing a family law attorney. Those are 2 entities of people who work in the same space as we do, who run across clients who have the need for one of us because of their situation. So if you're out there and you are in real estate law or in family law and you're looking for a network to try to grow your business, we're looking for you. So look us up, northcoastnetworkinggroup.com. come visit us on any Thursday morning. We're at Beach Plum Kitchen from 7 to 8:30. It's an hour and 15-minute group meeting every week. Like Christian said, it's not super rigid. Everybody there is warm and welcoming. We mix up our agenda every week and try to find ways to keep it live and fresh. I think the most recent decision that the board made to really break out Monday or the first and second Thursdays and put the people in their pods to sit together and really kind of hammer down some more networking time, I think was a great plan.
And real quick, I want to add on top of the attorneys that we're missing in the group, I think there's some trades that we're missing as well. Like plumbers, for example, could do really well in our group. Us property managers, we manage about 230 properties in San Diego County.
Yeah.
Real
Painters?
estate, painters, absolutely.
Yeah, we definitely need a quality painter.
Yeah, the people that are in our group right now in the trades, like our power washer, our handyman, our electrician, we're just feeding them a ton of business. But there are other trades that I think would do very well as also.
Yeah, for sure. HVAC, roofers, right? We have a great solar guy in the group, Dave, and he works with roofers all the time.
Yeah.
So finding ways to leverage.
Remediation company.
Water flood remediation. We probably do, 8 to 10 of those at least a year, it seems like.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So there's 10 referrals, and when you get one of those, that's not a cheap job.
No.
Yeah. So what are some people in the Power Partner pod, Dennis, that you feel like we could use?
Well, we mentioned most of them there.
Yeah.
There are some other health-related people.
Okay.
Masseuse, acupuncturist, hairstylist.
Joe.
Hairstylist or barber.
Christian needs one.
Yeah. It's getting a little long on the sides here. Got to trim the bangs a little bit.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I think the goal of this podcast, one, to start getting the name NCNG out there. Rob does a fantastic job at Max Lux Media of producing this video and making some great content for each of us to be able to share and post on our socials, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. But then really to help us promote NCNG, because we are, we don't have the power of a Latip International. We don't have the power of a BNI, where we have this corporation that's constantly, networking for its business growth. We're networking for our own personal growth. And so building on the growth of the group with content and media seems to be a great way to find potential prospects who are looking for something like we offer.
And that's another thing that I really like about this group is we do have those marketing people in our group, and they put out great content for NCNG to promote all of our businesses, and also, again, great content for those of us that are individual members. We can take that content and promote it again to everybody else. So getting the word out, knowing that there is a group of quality people that either you can join or you can contact any one of us for a referral. If you are out there and you need a referral to almost anybody, we've got people in our group that can help you, and they've already been vetted. So therefore, give us a call. We can help you too.
Yeah. And one of the really powerful things that, as a group, when you come together and you put 30 people in a room and you just open up everybody's mind and you start to brainstorm, you start to think about how can we get more business for everybody in this room? And one of our members brought up a game plan and a strategy that revolves around Nextdoor. And not everybody's on Nextdoor, not everybody uses Nextdoor, but Nextdoor can be a very powerful source of people seeking assistance and seeking, hey, I need somebody who does this. Who do you know? And it became a platform of a lot of requests for referrals. And so what we did is we came together and brainstormed this idea and came up with the Nextdoor Ninjas. And through Dennis and Dave West, you guys kind of mastered the Nextdoor Ninjas. And talk about that a little bit, Dennis, because that's become a really powerful component to creating more referrals in our group.
When people are on Nextdoor, they're asking their next door neighbor, who do you trust? Who can you refer? What do you feel? Who do you feel confident with? And so that's just another referral source for us, because I know when I go on there and I see somebody asking for property management, for a plumber, an electrician, a handyman, any of those trades, I know that I have somebody that I feel confident referring them to. And that way, it extends our reach even further.
Yeah.
And that's real important, is to get that reach out there, and also to help those people with a quality referral.
Right.
Somebody that we know, like, and trust. In the real estate business, trust is incredible for all three of us.
Yeah.
Because we really affect people's lives. And if I have somebody that I refer out and they don't do a good job, then I've lost credibility. I've lost trust. So it's really important that I know my power partners. I know the people in the group. And I feel confident referring them to anybody on Nextdoor, anybody I meet in the grocery line,
Yep.
any place.
Yeah, it's interesting. I've spent a little bit of time on Nextdoor. I'm not a huge piece of the ninjas, just because I'm pretty busy all day, so it's hard to get on there too often. But sometimes when I do jump on there, I'll notice somebody will ask for, hey, I'm looking for a referral for a painter, and there's 70 responses. And if you really spend a couple of minutes and you go and you look through those 70 responses, nobody's referring the same person. But when the ninjas get in and we jump on and somebody says, hey, I need a handyman, and there's 30 people who are saying, you got to talk to Eric Anderson at Handyman Co. That's a powerful differential between looking at 40 different handymen's names and phone numbers versus 30 people recommending one person who we know and trust and we know does a great job at a reasonable price. That person's going to climb to the top. And so that's what a business networking group can do for you. It can create that powerful level of trust when 30 people say, I recommend that person, versus 30 people all saying, we recommend this guy, and then this guy, and then this guy, and this guy.
30 different people.
30
Yeah, it
different
just all
people.
becomes white noise.
Right? Yeah, it just becomes a lot of noise to have to try to sift through. And when you need a handyman, do you need him like 3 weeks from now? Or are you asking because you probably want him today? Mm-hmm. So if you see 30 different phone numbers, how many hours are you going to spend calling and interviewing handymen and asking, hey, how much do you charge per hour? Hey, do you do this? Hey, how much do you charge per hour? Do you do this? Right? No one has that much time. They're out there seeking assistance today for something in most cases.
And when they see multiple people on recommending one person, then they'll generally go to that person because they know that that person has done a good job for multiple people.
Yeah. All right. Well, anything in closing you guys want to throw out to the community about NCNG?
No, I mean, I just highly recommend that if you're looking to grow your business, you come visit us. I look at where my business would be if I never joined North Coast Networking Group, and it's certainly been beneficial and fruitful for me, and I know for a lot of the other members, they're thrilled they joined as well. It's definitely a benefit.
Awesome. Dennis?
Again, it's having the people that have my back.
Yeah.
When I need somebody, I've got somebody I can trust. And again, we're looking for a few more people that are good quality people. We vet every one of them because we had one instance where somebody came in. It was a contractor, and one of my jobs is called the inspector. So I go out there and I check everything about them that I can find. I go on their social media, I talk to their references, and I look up their licenses. And this particular contractor had not renewed his license in the last 90 days. So if he's not good enough to just renew his own license, we rejected him.
Yeah.
And we don't need that kind of thing. Another insurance person that the wife had the license, but the husband was doing the selling. He didn't have a license. We're not going to accept that kind of people here because you can't trust them.
Yeah. Yeah, Christian said it earlier, it's really building a group of quality and not quantity. And what we have right now is a very quality group. And part of the quality that we build is because of the rigidness that we do take in the background checking of the members, right? We are building a trusted environment. And if you can't pass certain criteria, how could you be that trusted in your trade? How could you be that trusted in your field of work? And so we are looking for those trusted advisors who can do the job that we can rely on to say, yes, I trust this person, I can recommend them. And as we build that trust tree, we get more referrals, and the more referrals we generate, the more revenue we generate, and that's what we're here for.
Yeah. I love when I get asked about, like, this or that, because I know that when I refer someone from our networking group, and in our business we deal with, like, it's the handyman, it's the electrician. I know that when I refer one of those individuals out, that not only do I feel confident in that referral, but they're going to make me look really good because they're just really exemplary at what they do.
That's true. Yeah. So I think that's kind of a wrap here on this podcast episode. So this is our first PowerPod group, real estate and finance. We were missing our partner, Gina, who's with Comerica Bank. She's our banker of the group. She was unable to join us today, so normally we would have 4 of us in this PowerPod group. But Rob, thank you for hosting this one for
Thanks,
us
Rob.
today.
Thank you, Rob.
I look forward to growing this podcast model a little bit more and getting some growth to NCNG. If you are looking to grow your business and you're a small business owner and looking to become an entrepreneur, looking for growth and looking for trusted people you can surround yourselves with, check us out at northcoastnetworkinggroup.com or come visit us at Beach Plum Kitchen. We're there on the first 3 Thursdays of every month from 7:15 to 8:30, and grab a free breakfast, get to network, and figure out if we're the right group to help you grow your business. So, gentlemen, great to spend time with you this morning and getting to talk a little bit of business.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
All right, thank you.
All right, that's a wrap.
Woohoo! Power Pod.
All right.